So I just wanted to give my opinion on this crash that Verstappen had today, and just give my general opinion on the upgrades that Red Bull have brought. So in the last lap of Q3, Verstappen ended up crashing at the final few corners. He pushing quite hard. I think he was about 5 thousandths off Leclerc's time. And I just want to have a look what happened. So you can see that when this is kind of the entry of the corner, and he's turned in, and I think you can almost tell that the car's sliding already. So this happened a long time before he got anywhere near the apex. So you can see the car sliding, and then when you look at the next shot, you can see before or kind of as he arrives to the apex, but it would have obviously happened before. He's already got a full opposite lock to try and recover it. So this is probably a slide that happened by taking too much entry speed, but you can see that he's basically spinning before he even gets to the apex of the corner, and so there was not really any chance to recover it, which he said in his interview. He said it was a snap which you couldn't really recover. And then obviously when you look at this photo, you can see that there was no hope of recovering it, because I mean, there was no lock on the wheel. At this point, it was just sliding sideways. The gravel obviously stopped the car somewhat, but there's probably still going to be a fair amount of damage. I'm not really sure how much damage there is, because there hasn't been any confirmation from the team. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be a pit lane start or if they need to change the power unit components. And obviously they brought their upgrade package this weekend, so I haven't really got any clue on if they've got any spares. But that could be a pretty bad situation for them if they need to, because obviously the side pod would have gone into the wall, and I know they've changed the inlet and they've changed the rear suspension, I believe, was part of the upgrade, so they just better hope that hasn't been damaged at all. And if we just look at some telemetry, you can see where Verstappen lost to Russell on the first runs was on the exit of 10, really. This is where the Mercedes deployment advantage comes into play, because you can see Verstappen's actually, after turn 4, is just gaining on him through the whole of the second sector, and then just on the exit of 10, you can see on that final straight, the deployment literally drags Russell back ahead. So my theory on why the crash happened was probably just trying to recover the losses through 9 and 10 there, because you can see actually Russell does recover some time even through 9 and 10 before the energy advantage comes in. So presumably Verstappen was trying to just take as much speed into the corner as possible to try and overcome that deficit, which, I mean, is not particularly an excuse, because Leclerc does this all the time and people give him for it, so you got to do the same here. But I think it does show that the Red Bull upgrades have worked somewhat, because I think if they hadn't brought these upgrades, they wouldn't have even been close to Mercedes in the second sector. So I think they've made a good step. And if we actually go on to the next thing, we can see that they actually think the upgrades have worked, or Verstappen does, and he's usually quite honest. Obviously, I think they're just saying that they're going to need a few races with the to try and figure out how to dial them in with the setup. But overall, it's been a decent weekend for them come qualifying. It seems to be a thing for them in practice sessions to hide their pace, and then as soon as it comes to qualifying, they are suddenly on the pace, similar to what Ferrari's done the last 2 weekends. So I just wanted to give my opinion on Red Bull this weekend and the crash, and that's about it.